on the cloud. Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? It was so nice to see you on the at least on the screen. We were talking, at least with Charlene. We were recently, relatively recently, speaking in person last fall. But with you, Julia, and with Jean Felix,
Yes.
we were speaking only via Zoom. And just a reminder, this is our traditional conversation with Muses. Every time we do a marathon, that's our fourth one, we invite artists to get together virtually, because definitely they're all in different countries, and just get to know each other, talk about their experience with the marathon, talk about what it means to them, how they connect to the cause, and maybe find some collaboration. So let's start from the beginning and introduce participants. Now start with myself. My name is Michael Zoric. I'm project director of Multicultural Arts Exchange organization, nonprofit organization in Philadelphia that organizes all these virtual Muses marathons, and specifically this one, 100 hours that shook the world, as it is now in progress, is going on both YouTube and Facebook, and people who are here at this meeting, at this event, they are participants. They are artists who contributed their time and their talent to the cause. And I will ask them to introduce themselves. So who's first?
Hi, my name is Charlene Chamberlain, and I'm a friend of Michael Zorch's, and we've just met about a year ago at a venue that I'm going to be working at, helping to promote and grow a music and arts venue. I live in New Jersey. I used to live in California, but now I'm back to New Jersey. I'm a songwriter, musician. I play piano. I'm a member of the Grammys and BMI. You guys probably are too. But I really enjoy working on special projects, humanitarian projects, projects that bring peace and healing to others. Especially, I especially like working with children in music as well. Children that are maybe challenged, that can use music to help heal or connect. Let's see, what else can I tell you about myself? I just released a couple of Christmas songs. I write a lot of Christmas and holiday music. That sort of seems to be my niche. I love all types of music, from opera to classical, to pop, to rock, to country, to jazz. And I'm all in. I'm very passionate about music. It's been my life goal to work and create in music since I was a really small little girl. I started with piano lessons when I was 3, and that didn't work out too well, and forgot about it. And then went back when I was in my 20s, didn't like that either. So I just play my own way. I know I'm not doing it the right way, but I play by ear. I can read a little bit, but I play for passion. That's what it's all about for me. Passion and healing.
Thank you, Charlene.
That's it for now. I'm sure there'll be more.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so just to be fair to the different people, we'll continue with Jean Felix. Women, men, women, right?
Yes. Okay. So I'm Jean-Félix Mayou. I'm a bass player, composer from based in Quebec, the province of Quebec. I live in a small town called Châteauguay. It's very close to Montreal. I was born in Montreal, raised there, and I recently moved in this small community. I'm with this ensemble Cordam, which is my primary project. I compose for the ensemble. We started as a trio of string players, and we bring collaborators for different settings, different projects. Our most recent projects are based on inspired by French composers. So we worked on Satie, Debussy, and Ravel. It's an instrumental sextet with a piano, harp, violin, cello, bass, and percussion. And also recently, we've done a project that we're going to tour in the US in the fall, which is called Da Vinci Invention. It's a sextet with the vocal and the harp, the string trio of violin, cello, bass, and percussion as well. So it's a very dynamic project I've been doing for a long time. It's we've been collaborating with musicians from all around the world. My uncle is a Ukrainian, so we've done a show 10 years ago with him. All the Ukrainian music was mostly how do I say? It's like very I don't know the exact word in English, but we say complaint in French. It's like a very sad songs about the war, and so I really feel connected about this project with which is really close to me. My uncle Grigory is a very dear person to me. He's an artist. He's actor and also a stage manager. I don't know exactly the exact term.
Stage manager is good.
Yeah. He's like he's directing plays and stuff like that. So he's mostly theater guy, and he's also done a lot of acting and TV. So I learned all this Ukrainian repertoire with him, collaborating on his theater project a very long time ago, almost 25 years ago, and so these music and the culture of the Ukraine is a big part of my life, and so when Michael offered to participate in this project, I feel really connected, and I also have 3 daughters, and I really like to like to share my passion for music with children and bring joy to everybody, all the families, and so it's a big part of my life. Yeah.
Thank you, Jean-Felix. And I just want to add that I met Jean-Felix this January during
Yes.
the conference, APAP conference in that was virtual in New York. And just little announcement, self-serving announcement. Jean-Felix will be performing, as a part of his North American tour. He will be performing on October 15th in our new venue in Northeast Philadelphia. So,
Nice.
yes, we are working on the details of the contract as we speak.
Yeah.
And finally, Julia.
I'm Julia Pikalova, a Russian poet. I was born in Moscow, grew up in St. Petersburg, but after the fall of the Iron Curtain, I lived and worked in many countries. And now for the 2 years, I've been living in Italy. All of my life, I was working in big multinational companies like Procter & Gamble, Carlsberg, and Danone. But about 8 or 10 years ago, I started to write poetry. And I really cannot explain it. I think it's just a miracle that happened. A couple of years ago, when I transferred to Italy, I also decided to quit this job, to which I dedicated almost 30 years, because I thought that other people can be marketing directors, but no one will write my poetry instead of me. And finally, this free time allowed me to prepare 2 books, which I can very briefly show you. One appeared a year and a half ago in Russia. It is called The First because it is my first book. So you can see it's a pretty heavy volume. And the second one a few months ago in Italy. You may see the similar cover, but the book is much smaller. Some of my poems were translated by a great Italian poet, Paolo Statuti. So this is a bilingual book which is now finding its way to the Italian readers. Roughly at the same time, when I started to write poetry, I restarted playing the piano. I studied as a child, but I never paid any attention to it. Somehow I really wanted to restart, and now I take part in a festival every year where I play with the orchestra, and something that I never thought possible. Now I'm preparing for 2 concerts, and one of them will be actually on Sunday, not tomorrow, but in a week in Paris. And Jean mentioned French composers, so I will play the French ones, and Sans, the second piano concerto. I would like also to say that as a result of a similar meeting like Zoom we are having now, but a year ago, I met a wonderful person, an Italian composer, Giorgio Bernabò. And as a result, we have developed a great collaboration. He has created a performance which involved ballet, the art of declamation, architecture, and my poetry and music, and all of that in an ancient villa of the 15th century, actually UNESCO World Heritage in Vicenza. So I would like to thank Michael Zoric for this opportunity, because it is thanks to such a meeting that we have met.
Oh, actually, Julia, I can tell you, we've met a little bit earlier, a little bit before that. Yeah, you've met with your collaborator because of this meeting, but we've met a little bit earlier, and through our common friend, Maestro Mikhail Kazinnik, who is also participating in a marathon. He is main person in the fifth day video. Video right now is in Russian, but we are in the process of translating the subtitles. So in the next day or 2, they will be released this English subtitles, so people can enjoy this conversation as well. But Julia actually helped a lot with making this marathon an international, because when pandemic started back in 2020 and we were out of any performances, we couldn't do anything. Out of the blue, she reached out from Italy and asked if I would be interested to participate, to be a benefactor of their orchestra international virtual tour. So we had a full concert dedicated to multicultural arts exchange, and then Julia participated in 2 more marathons, and the second one actually really went international, and that's when this collaboration happened. And I really hope, Julia, that at some point you make it to America, and I'll have an honor to present you at Charlene's venue, right?
That would be great. I would love it. I hope you don't mind. I brought Mark down for a few minutes
Yeah, I
too.
just want
Yes. Hi, Mark. How are you?
I can't stay. I'm Charlene's video editor, and I'm working on a project upstairs. But Julia, congratulations on everything that you've done. How many poems are in that big book?
I don't know in pounds. I can say in kilograms, and then you can convert. 1 kilogram to 150 grams.
But how many poems?
I don't know.
Poems.
Poems. I'm sorry, I thought you said pounds. The Russian one, it has exactly 500, and the Italian one has 81.
Okay, I thought you were weighing the poems.
I had to know the weight of my book, because when it is sent by post, it is quite costly because of the weight.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell a little bit about yourself.
We're
talking about ourselves a little bit. So
I don't know. I work a lot with Charlene, and because I live with her and I'm married to her. But other than that, I taught college for 32 years. I'm a writer and a filmmaker with a background in pre-med. Go figure. But yeah, I'm retired now. I still try to keep my hand in those things because I love photography and writing and also filmmaking. So
and music.
Yeah, not so much the pre-med.
But I can tell, Mark, I'm sorry, I can tell that you actually are participant as well because you contributed two of your photographs, and we use them. Actually, one of them we use in day 4. In day
Okay.
4 video that we, all the videos, by the way, just wanna kind of run it by you guys. Every video that was submitted as part of the marathon and then became a part of the specific day will be released for a short period of time on YouTube as part of the second week of the month, because today is kind of intermediate, like intermission, right? Like
Right.
intermission, yeah. We've worked really hard with releasing all these videos, putting together, releasing, working through a lot of, and Mark, you are video editor, you can really relate to all these painstaking jobs. And for me, it was, I'll be honest with you, for me, it was first. It was the first time I participated in this kind of video project. So I had great help, but spent a lot of time synchronizing all these little details and making sure the timeline is correct.
No, everything looks really good.
Thank you. And we had fantastic team. At some point, maybe next week or so, I'll gather all the volunteers, and we had about 20 volunteers, and it's just mind-boggling from my family, my sister and my wife, my sister, my son just helped yesterday. Yesterday, he managed to put all these videos on his company's website and his company email list from people, my former interns who came back to help, new interns, some people who that I barely knew, just accidental Facebook friends that I've seen maybe once in my life, and I called them, and actually they responded right away. And some new people just joined during the process. But again, their photographs, by the way, their gallery is on our Facebook page, so you can take a look. And
okay. I've got to bow out. It was nice seeing everybody. I'll leave you with Charlene, and continued success.
Thank you so much,
what
Mark.
you're doing. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye, Mark.
Bye. Bye. Okay, so we went through the introduction, and now just tell what are, first of all, we already talked about a little bit about the connection to the project, why you connected to the project, like Charlene told about her love to the children and music and healing power of music, and Jean-Felix told about his children and Ukrainian roots. For me, it's I'm Ukraine. I'm actually native of Ukraine. I grew up there and lived there for 32 years. And Julia, I believe you have a lot of friends there, a lot of good memories. So, but why specifically this project? What specifically brought you here?
I'll go first. I just felt that when the news happened that the war had actually really started, it just threw me into a really downward spiral. I don't have family there. I don't have any relations there, but it just touched my heart so profoundly, and I felt helpless. I mean, yes, I could send money, but where am I going to send money, and where is it going to where it needs to go? And it was just, I just felt that it was just an enormous black cloud, and we still have it. And I'm the type of person that likes to try and help in any way. I'm one of the helpers. And I just felt like I have to do something, and I don't know what it is I could possibly do. And then when Michael reached out to me, I said, this I can do. And this makes sense because it's focused. It's not just me, volunteering or sending money to who knows where. So I felt that helping the children, and I know everybody is suffering, but I think the children really need our help because they have to live with this for the rest of their lives. and have to live with what is happening to them, and that will affect their lives as they grow up. So that's pretty much why I stepped in, and I absolutely believe in the healing power of music. Actually, one of the songs that Michael was so kind enough to include is called Tell the Wind I'm Calling. And that was written for a very dear friend of mine who, within 24 hours, lost almost every vital sign, and they didn't know what was wrong with her. They put her on life support. She couldn't even speak. I didn't know this at the time. About 15 minutes before I got the call that this had happened to her from her husband, I was taking a walk and I kept hearing these words, tell the wind I'm calling, tell the wind I'm fine, calling all the angels from the earth and sky. And I could not shake these words. They would not leave my brain. And I came home and I got the call that Linda was on her deathbed, and they didn't know what was wrong with her. But anyway, this song evolved because of her illness, and a songwriting partner and I wrote this. Within 15 minutes, we had a song fleshed out, which is pretty fast. And when they diagnosed Linda, she actually was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, and they didn't think she was going to make it, but she actually did. And about a month into her rehab, we recorded, my partner and I recorded the song, and we took it to her and we played it for her, and she couldn't speak yet. She had to speak by blinking her eyes, and she started to cry. And I said, oh my God, I think we got through. And then I would visit her every couple of days, and we would play this song for her until she could speak. And when she could speak, she said, leave it with me. I'm going to have the nurses play it for me every day. And she told me, and this gives me the chills to even say this, every time she listened to this song, she would get pins and needles and tingling on the left side of her body, which was not responding to any therapy or treatment whatsoever. So divine intervention, a message from the universe, a message from God. I believe that this song did help her in her healing process. And as I said, I believe music can heal us, and especially the children in Ukraine. And if anything that I've submitted can give anybody just a little bit of hope, then I feel like I've done my job.
Thank you, Charlene. It's a beautiful story, and it just kind of it's reminded me situation with my late father. He was very vibrant. He loved to dance, to sing, to he was really active until the last year when he got brain tumor. And when he was at the last several months of his life, and he was in rehab, one of my friends who is a traveling musician, and his partner came in his rehab, and they played the concert there for the people who live in rehab. And I saw the reaction. And actually, the same thing. If you noticed, there is a video. I believe in day 3 or 4. This scene from retirement community in France, and where people are singing the song. And Jean-Felix, you most likely understood what they're thinking about, and maybe even recognize the song. But it's another story. It's that the person who made this video, she's a dear friend of mine. We met many years ago when she was looking for a Russian language tutor. She's here in Philadelphia, and she is a world-renowned slow cook chef, like slow cooking movement.
Wow.
She's traveling all around the world. She's been to Russia many times, to Ukraine, to Georgia, to all around. But last several years, her name is Michelle Hines. And she's a board member of our organization. For the last several years, she was flying between Philadelphia and France because her 100 years old mother was in the rehab, and she was taking care of her. And that's where this video was shot, when I reached out to everybody in the beginning of the war. She responded immediately, yes, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna go with my mother, to my mother, and I'm taking a professional singer, I'm taking a professional videographer, and we're gonna shoot this video. And that's what it's all about. Because I'm telling you, every video in this marathon, it does have an incredible story behind it. And Charlene, I really appreciate you telling this story. Julia, can you tell the story behind your video?
About my participation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sure. For me, it's hard to talk about it because my heart is literally torn in two. I have so many friends living in Ukraine. I have friends and family in Russia. And I feel enormous shame that my country is attacking another country that I love and that is so close to me. And it is devastating. It's hard for me even to talk because I'm afraid I will start crying.
That's okay.
So every day I contact my friends in Ukraine, checking how they are, and some people had to had to evacuate. And one woman, Alla Zemlyanskaya, has lost her only son. He was only 25, and he went as a volunteer to this war. So it's really, really painful. I can't accept that in 21st century, one country is resolving conflict by even bigger conflict with another country. So when I took part in some marathons here in Italy, some poetic marathons dedicated against war. And in one of them, I represented a Ukrainian poet and philosopher, Alexander Pustovit, because he's an evacuation and he entrusted me to read a poem on his behalf. So I am, as much as I can, keeping the links with the people I know from Ukraine. I submitted for this marathon a film based on my poem Beethoven, and the poem in its turn is based on his letters during the war with Napoleon. And now, even though the poem was written 2 years ago and the film was created 10 months ago, 8 months ago, now I have a totally different feeling about my own poem because Beethoven in his letters talks about devastation, marauders, about the bridge being blown up, etc. So now it has an entirely different, not meaning, the meaning was there before, but entirely different focus in my own eyes. So I submitted this movie to Mikhail. And also recently I've written 2 poems. One of them was fortunately translated into English, and if there is time, I can later on read it. It is I received so many reactions from both Russians and Ukrainians. For example, from Alla, the lady who I mentioned who lost her son, she even made a repost of this poem, which was extremely valuable for me. And some Ukrainian people were writing literally, "Thanks to your poem, we don't want to forget the Russian language." So I'm very emotional about what I have written. If time will permit, I will read you the translation.
Yes, actually, Julia sent me this poem. It's incredible, and it's not the first poem translated into English. I really hope that it will be more, because it's really worth it. And Jean-Felix, it's your turn now.
Yes. So as I mentioned a bit earlier, I have my uncle who's an Ukrainian. This project is very this project we did with Grigori is still resonating, and recently I visited. I was with him yesterday, and his brother is in. He lives in Lviv in the western Ukraine. He's a a pastor or I don't know the exact term. He's in a church, so he's helping people in the community. Gregory also did a play here based on a Ukrainian playwright last week, and my daughter was there, and they 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 raise money for the church of my uncle brother, and so this video I submitted, it's from our Da Vinci invention project. Sorry, my dog is barking a bit. I don't know if you, but,
Probably he agrees with what you say. That's
so
absolutely cool.
the song I sent is a poem from this poetess, Italian poetess from the Renaissance, Gaspara Stampa. She's very dear to me. She's an incredible artist. Her poetry is very extremely dramatic and very intense. The longing for the loved one, especially the poem I chose to send to for this marathon is it's a poem about the longing of a loved one who has gone to war. So it's very it felt appropriate because there's so many families that are being apart, children's and wife are waiting in Moldavia and Poland and all the surrounding countries. So it must be very hard to know their daddies are away and they don't know if they're gonna see them again. So it's every day I think about that, and it's so sad. All the wars are very dramatic, but I feel a bit more concerned since as I mentioned, my family has a roots there, so they still have friends, and yeah, so it's very difficult time. I hope for the better, but it seems like it's gonna be a long war, and it's very devastating. I can't express how much I've been I've been all the like Chardin mentioned when the war started. We all knew it was gonna happen soon because all the Russian army were there for a long time. So it was not such a big surprise, but
You know, Jean Felix,
yes,
I'm sorry interrupting you, but this kind of your last. First of all, I want to mention that it is really pity that there's all this preparations, with all this technical details and all this video editing stuff. We didn't have chance to talk about this before because all these personal stories, they are so powerful. They're so powerful. They give completely different meaning and completely different impression of what is going on. Why this piece in this place and why it's played this way, what it means. Because a lot of times when people are listening to the music and they don't know the story behind the music, it's so hard to concentrate, especially in today's time when everybody is distracted, when everybody is watching like maybe very short for a very short time. But this kind of stories, they make this music completely different. Like the story that Charlene told us about, which again is so close to me, and I have similar experience, and I'm gonna look at this music completely differently now. Like the stories that Julia told about her friend and her her poetry, how she actually is looking at her poem completely differently now. This is really good. And speaking about we all knew that this was going to happen, I tend to disagree with you because I had this conversation, we all knew, and I had you probably know that this it's a big part of this marathon. It's my personal conversation with my very close friend. She's my classmate. We haven't seen each other for many, many years. Then we reconnected during the Revolution of Dignity in Ukraine in 2014. Then we speak sporadically. And then before the war, we started conversing again pretty much on a daily basis. And right before the war, right before the invasion, I told her, yeah, you know what? Everybody is talking about the war, but nobody wants. And she just was quiet. And then next morning, I woke up with messages from her about war, that war started. And that's what this marathon is starting. And then I've heard the same, exactly the same thing from many, many, many different people. Yes, people told us it was going to happen. Yes, there were all the signs. Yes, there was, but we didn't believe.
Because
You didn't believe?
it's unbelievable. You just can't imagine that something like that in this day and age would happen. But if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere. Nobody's safe. Not
Exactly.
really.
Exactly.
Not really.
Okay, so we have, we don't have too much time, and I definitely hope it's not our last conversation. I'll try to have one in more extended after the marathon ended, and we are getting back to more, more commercial events as well, presenting concerts. The next one, by the way, is going to be on May 29th with another marathon participant, Daniel Kader, who's the gentleman who sung, about Ukraine, about Jewish immigration from Ukraine long time ago. He's going to be saying, he's going to be presenting his program on May 29 in David Vinnani's Cultural Center. But we still have a little bit of time. And Julia, I would really love for you to read this poem. And who knows? And who knows? Maybe Charlene will decide to write a song.
Thank you, Michael. So 2 words before I start. First, in this poem, I don't even use my own words. I use only biblical, "you shall not kill," and the cliches of Russian propaganda. So it's kind of a dialogue. Then the letter Z that you will hear twice, written like this, is not in the Cyrillic alphabet. But now it is used in Russia to brand the special operation. This is how in Russia we are supposed, we must call this war. And the last comment, I will not pronounce the last word because I don't want the propaganda to have the last word, but you will guess it. You will hear my poem in the brilliant translation of Anna Krushelnitskaya. Don't kill. Don't kill. No one is killed. They're all living. Don't kill. At least now we are even Steven. Don't kill. Let them crouch in the basement some more. Don't kill. But killing was fine before. Don't kill. It was them. They killed their own. Now they sit under rubble, calling out to the west. Now they moan. Don't kill. They aren't even a nation. They need a firm hand. What we do to them, we do as a friend. And we won't rest till they see it's best for them to be saved from the wicked West. Don't kill. Then they will kill us. Glory to the special operation. Glory to the Spetsnaz. Glory to Russia's military force. Thanks to them, the planet is staying its course. Glory to Putin, the savior and crusher. Glory to Russia. Don't kill. The world lies in evil lies. Put a white armband on it. Now it's one of our guys. Then we'll point our guns away. It can stay. Don't kill. For peace, we'll do what it takes. Don't kill. Precision strikes on the Nazis. The commander makes no mistakes. Don't kill. You know, this issue has two sides. Don't kill. Sending you a rug and the kid a coat in his size. I'll mail a larger one once I find it as well. In hell. Don't kill. We remind the traitorous weeping fifth column of their granddads in the gulag. That's where we can hold them. Don't kill. The world doesn't know what good news we bring in this upheaval. We are the pure, absolute, unadulterated. Thank you.
That was pretty deep. And I love the way you delivered the don't kill. It was to me like a little voice in their heads. They know they should not be doing this. And it's like your conscience is telling you, don't kill, don't kill. That it just, wow, that was just pretty intense.
Thank you, Sheldon.
You're welcome.
Okay, so on this high note, we'll finish this conversation with his Muses. And I'll just ask our viewers and listeners once again, please support Voices of Children Foundation, our friends and partners who are working tirelessly every day to make sure that children will remain children. Simple as that. They still have some happiness and some joy in their life. I can tell you, for me, it's very personal as well because my generation are the children of the children of the war.
Right.
I'm just letting this sink because my parents, my wife's parents, were children during the Great Patriotic War, Second World War, and we saw in them what traumas war bring to people, what traumas they experienced during this war. They were still visible in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. So we don't want this to happen to children of this war. Okay? So thank you so much again for participating. And I really hope it's not our last conversation.
And thank you so much for putting this marathon together.
Yeah.
I know it's a large undertaking and took many hours, but it's pretty wonderful what you did for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet everyone. And I want to tell you that are you in Quebec? Where are you?
Yes.
We have a home in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario. So
Okay.
we're in Canada a lot. We love Canada.
Oh,
Like our second
nice.
home.
Yeah, and I've been to Montreal as well. I love, and Quebec. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, so until we meet again.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.